This film is for Zach Anderson, and one of the things I wanted to point out, the very first thing, is to crack this open, this bypass. That allows water to flow through this and allow your temperature regulation to occur. Without changes of temperature, this can't shut off or turn on. That's your probe capillary that comes down from your thermostat right here. So your thermostat has that capillary that comes up through the undercarriage and goes right in here. It's very important that you have this turned on all the time, otherwise you won't get proper regulation. It only has to be a little bit of a crack, and you'll notice that your pressure gauge will dance a little bit, indicating that you're bleeding off the water into your tank. The water connections are here. So this is your thermal line. So that's the line in which it goes straight into your solenoid on your tank. And this is the one to the right, which does not go to the solenoid. It just goes to that fitting on the right-hand side on your tank. So just remember to match it up properly. That way you'll have a machine that operates properly. So, and also there are balance holes here. So if you get leakage of grease, that's perfectly normal. Do not worry about it. I had to clean up a little bit of it. I'll clean the rest of it up. But you'll notice some of it will come out. They're balance holes so that you know if you not have enough grease in there. And so this is just a really well laid out machine. Of course, you've got your drain right here. And same thing for your water pump right here. And you got a SPI level right there that tells you a SPI glass that shows you the level of the pump oil. You can use cat pump oil. It's perfectly fine. You have a switch here, or a fuse here that if you lose power up in here, that is blown. So if you get a short to ground anywhere along the way and you're not getting any indicator lamp. So here's your indicator lamp right here, it turns on. So now you got power going across the panel. And now you got a thermostat here, and watch how that turns on and off. When you get into the lowest setting, that will turn on. When you go into higher setting, it turns off. So if you got it set at 250 or 200, say 200, when it reaches that match setting on what you have on this thermostat, that red light will go on, indicating you have 12 volts that's going to your solenoid line. This goes to your tank. This is what you connect to your solenoid. There's your 12 volts and there's your ground. This switch here, this goes to your switch, your high level float switch, so that when the level of water comes up, it shuts your engine down. And that wire, that white wire here, is tied to your magneto wire. So that's something that will suppress. I'm hooking that up, and I'm going to put a wire nut on there to hook it up and make sure everything is, it's already been tested, but I'm going to do another test on it, and I'm also going to be putting some windshield wiper fluid in there, providing, you know, I just want overall protection to provide the protection for your coils and your fittings. And it'll go right in here, and I'll drain the water out of here. So, but other than that, I'm going to do another final test on it. You saw, hopefully you saw the YouTube video. Notice that light's on, see? It shuts right off. Very simple electrical DC circuit. You got your tachometer for RPMs. Once that's running, that will turn on. This is your accessory switch that turns off, on or off 12 volts to this receptacle here that can be used for your pump out or demand pump. And then you have your chemical feed. This is in the up position. This indicates gallon per hour feed of your chemical. Now, when you initially run it, you just go down like this, and the marker will go up, indicating that you got a feed and that you're feeding chemical from this line. You put this in your bucket, and that'll come up and it'll start going up this way, and then you just turn it back the other way and it goes into your chemical prime, which is your normal operating position. It's pretty easy. you got your choke, you got your throttle. You can lock your throttle in by locking this collar. You can get intermediate RPMs if you want to turn down your RPMs a little bit. It's a nice micro adjust rather than those coarse types of T-throttles. It's much better. And then you got your water inlet, you got your feed of WD-40. I have a plug for this I'm putting on, and then here's your high out that goes to your carpet wand or sprayer tool or pressure wand or whatever. So watch out for hot surfaces. You got your belt guard there. Everything's pretty easy to get to. Most of this is all the high pressured Blue Neptune lines. Really robust build here. And check your oil level here. Synthetic oil should be half on the spyglass. You fill it up at the top. First 500 hours, you'll replace the oil. There's plugs at the bottom. Hex Allen will take that off. And then you just fill it up. You put the plug back on once it's emptied out, and then you put the plug back on underneath. Take this off, and then go ahead and fill it back up. When it starts to pour, you put a paper towel there, and still as it pours out. Once it starts to slow down, I put the cap back on. And that will ensure that you've got proper. If you've got a little bit above this, don't worry about it. I usually just put the cap back on once it starts to pour out, and I don't even wait for it to stop. But you've got a breather up here that allows the circulation of going through your timing box. And everything is here. You got your battery that's going to be put inside your waste tank. You got your fuel line here, 5/16. Everything will be wrapped up and properly wrapped up and everything. You'll have your accessory line plug put together and tested on this line here. And of course, again, this has to be on, and then that has to be on. And that will turn on the 12 volts onto that line via pump out or pressure washing pump station or whatever. So it's pretty nicely set up. Should be very easy to operate. I'm going to winterize it, and I'm going to be putting it palletized with the other. It's already on a pallet, but it's got to be cardboarded and shrink wrapped, and it's going to come in with that tank over here. So your tank is going right with this, and the fittings are going inside a box, which will go inside the tank. The rest of the stuff will come separately so that it doesn't get damaged. I'm going to have a template for your side mount for your inline filter box that you ordered. That's going to come separately. Otherwise, this unit could be damaged. I can't get it any wider. According to the shipping model, I try to keep it within the constraints of this pallet size, 61 by 48, and it'll be a safe ship. And so I'm going to upload this to you, and then I'm going to do another final test on it. You have an upgraded, now on the film it looks different, but this is a better, they have these on the cockpits of airplanes, you know, the Cessnas or whatever. It's a highly, it's the high grade temperature gauge. It's an analog. The other one on that was a, like a moving coil, which was a cheaper type of temperature gauge. I gave you the better one and made sure of that. And I just put that on the other day. So the film that you see, you'll see a different temperature gauge, but this is going to be fully tested to ensure that it works properly. So it's a nice machine. As you can see, a lot went into it. Got a lot of other builds going on over here. And this will go out either Monday or Tuesday. Probably more than likely Tuesday. And I'll keep you informed, and I'll get a bill of lading with the tracking on there as well, Zach.